Oops. Oh wait, that's not it. There we go. For some reason, I can't roll an ad break to like avoid the ads. So, oh, I forgot my little life here. The focus is this, not me. Hmm. Keep getting weird emails. So let me turn that down just a little bit. There we go. And that should be pretty good volume wise. It's gonna be a chill Sunday today. I feel like I need something more to just like. Oh, there we go. There. Oh, let me get my stuff. So I've been wanting to clean these for a while. I just didn't get around to it because, time management and all that. But since I got a bin for my gear, well, the stuff that I will keep and then, gosh, what fell in there? Very peculiar stuff fell in that little bin. I have to see what it is. I have to go through and clean it. Fortunately, I only have this table because I forgot to grab the other one while it was unoccupied. So, there. We'll start off with this one. These are actually, as you can see here by the zipper, they actually connect to something else. They're a little dusty more than anything. There's like just weird. It's not really dust. It's like sand. I mean, the gear feels pretty good. Yeah, it's mostly got just a weird level of like sand or something. So I have no idea. But in any case, we shall. Oh, even this got what fell in there? Wait, this was in the bag. How did it? Yeah, something fell inside there. Something leaked, and it got on the brush. But the brush was inside this bag. I have no idea what fell in there. Could it be the conditioner? Come on, give me 1 second. Hey, Blood Hunter. Let me just check that real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh my god. I found out what was leaking. It was the freaking leather honey conditioner. It was somehow open. Oh my god. That's what's been leaking all over the place. Well, I lost the whole bottle of conditioner. I mean, what's left of it there. Jesus, how did I not see that? Did it not close? Oh gosh, the calendars are probably going to be ruined there that have. Who knows how long it had been like that, too? Criminy, I have to go through and clean it. Dang, that was some good conditioner, too. So much of it leaked. You're probably. Nah, I'll have to clean it out. Darn it. Well, that's something for later. For the time being, we'll just take these pants and give them a little clean. Oh, there's no pockets. Belt loops? Yeah, I think these are like some sort of like. I feel like it's a biker overlay outfit that you put on over your stuff. Because this is just part one of it. The second half is over there. But in any case, jeez, how did I not see that was leaking? Christ. Well, let's just no. I'll focus on that later. See what I can salvage. Darn. Well, I mean, it's not like I don't have conditioner. I do. That one was nice though. I like that one. Having different types was good. I just can't believe it leaked all over the goddamn place. Oh, let's give it just a cursory spritz and then this is the brush I use, right? Yeah. I need more soap. Oh, I'll check the pockets, see if there's anything. And I'll do this part first, and then I'll hit the belt area. I gotta get my towel. I have to go in there and clean it up. Jesus. That's just to get the soap all around. Oh, actually, I'll use the crusty side. I mean, this towel just rests in my closet floor just for when I need to clean stuff. Hmm. Not clean, clean. Although you can't really tell on the camera. Looks a little better. Actually, I'm gonna focus on. I have an idea. I'm gonna focus on one side and then the other. So I did this side. So now we flip it. Oh, there's zippers. Okay. Yeah, I think this is biker-esque. Oof, these are really dusty down here. I mean, if it's covered in sand, then it has to be that it's riding gear. Actually, last week is when I bought I, I got a bin from IKEA. It was like the perfect size for this too. And the gear that I've cleaned, I'm going to store in there only after I've cleaned it. Dealing with verdigris and like just general crust. I do not want to store these without giving them a proper clean. And that once I post them up for sale, I also don't want to just charge them for like the gear and then have it just be crusty. Like, oh yeah, you got to clean that yourself. I'm only selling it. I mean, well, I guess I wouldn't have to clean it if I didn't want to, but that's not. I mean, it looked bad on me for like selling gear that's just looks and feels crusty. And also the fact that, I had a title for a bit. It's like, oh my gosh, there is so much dust in there. That's where it was coming from. Okay, luckily I have the bag that it's in. I will give it a good shake in that bag, and then all the dust particles can just collect there. Welcome in, Ribbons. Just a chill gear cleaning stream, and then I realized that my leather conditioner, one of them, was open, and it leaked into that bin over there. So now I got to figure out, okay, how am I gonna clean that? So that's for later. At least I know where all the dust came from in this. Okay, second side. Is there any verdigris here? No, we're good. Although I will show you how much dirt is in the bottom half. It's a lot, but I will. Yeah, I'll shake as much as I can out of it. Well, I have a brush here. I can just like brush it out. I'll focus on the belt later. Brush. Well, I can always ask Lore Punk where he got the conditioner, and I'll just tell him that like we had an accident with it. So I like that one too. It was a nice one. If I need to buy another one, it's fine. I just don't know how he went that far without, noticing. No, stay still. Stay still. There. Okay. And since I forgot to grab the table from inside, and there's a guest in that room, I gotta just fold it and then do this piecewise, which isn't too bad. Okay. Stay. Stay. That's. Oh my gosh. There's just clumps of. So wait, is that dust or is that like the inner lining of this? Huh. Well, I'll find out. Just work it in there. Look at that. Wait. Let's make sure I get a little moisture. Well, this gear is pretty good with like feeling soft. Bit of a stain there. I can't really see it on cam, but I can see that there's like a slight patch here of like just different stuff. Let me see. It's still there. Yeah, all this stuff was gifted by my sir. Just stuff he hadn't used in ages, really. Oh yeah, I see. There's all so much dust here. I mean, the stuff that I'm keeping will just stay here when I need it. But the stuff that I'm not gonna keep, I'm gonna part ways with. Hmm. This is moist enough that I can probably just run the damp edges of the towel onto. Nah, it could use a scrub. Which is one I use for that? This one. You have a question? You're not familiar with the term sir. Okay, so well, let's see. So a sir, I mean, even that phrase can vary for other people, but like the general one is like somebody who like takes someone else under their wing, in a sense. It doesn't have to be that they are older and then you have to be younger. It could be like someone could be a sir to somebody older than they are. So like that's not a factor, like in terms of like how you determine if someone can be a sir or not. Even some other women will call someone sir. So like it's not even limited to just like men either. At least from the way I define it for my own self is someone who just, kind of gives you guidance and some things, helps you out, and you can confide in and all that. It's not like a part, yeah, yes, like that. And depending on the arrangement for whoever, it could just be mentorship. It could be mentorship with benefits, or some other combination. Like it's not limited to just one thing. Clean these zippers. There we go. That looks better already. It's just like a bit of dust on it. I don't want it to just remain on there and get crusty, and then you can't close these. Yeah, at least for my whole sort of thing is that I had met him in 2019 in Chicago for the international contest. I was way too intimidated to talk to him. Well, because when you're wearing gear, like some people, like when they're wearing gear, they just look like like an unstoppable force of nature. Like you can't like they will bow to no wind kind of thing. But then a friend of mine like introduced me, and he was just really chill. And around that time, he kind of floated the idea, but I was still pretty new to everything, so I was just more of like, ooh, I don't know. That seems really sudden, huh? I was like, well, I didn't say anything at the time. I was like, in my mind, I was like, seems a little sudden. I'll probably just, I'll give it some time to think about it. And and before that, I didn't even know that like each dynamic can be different too. So, and then Miss Rona came around, and then 2021, I was able to just hang out with him again. Just like it was just casual, like just seeing the area where he lives, and then the next year, I was like, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember you floated the idea, so I'm up for it if you are. And he's like, yes, cool. I was like, cool. Uh, I do think my friend that introduced me to him not around anymore, unfortunately. Not the clown music while I'm over here reminiscing of over a dear friend. Come on, Glover, get it together. Read the room. This is not clown music. It's supposed to be reminiscent, like melancholy but yet hopeful music. Actually, no, the clown music because for somehow I left the conditioner bottle open and it leaked in there. So that's what the clown music is for. I'll deserve for that. Actually, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, okay, I can lower it. How's that? That should be better. I took it down a good. Okay, Mike, please. Okay, so I did the front part. Oh, let me see if I can show you. Oh my god. 1 second. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. That's all just dirt. So it's definitely something that was used for outdoor stuff. My guess is it was motorcycle riding because usually they'll put on a layer that goes over their clothing because sometimes you have a higher risk of flying off your motorcycle and like hitting the pavement at some pretty fast speeds. So it's best not to have your flesh exposed. So it seems like this is one of those things. I'm going to shake it in there before I put it away because there's a lot. Actually, no, I feel like I should. Hold on, let me do that now. Actually, yeah, he gave me all these in a bag, but I'm going to use this bag. I'm going to shake as much as I can out of there, and then I'm just going to throw this away. It's already tearing, so last thing I need is to I'll mute that so you don't hear the bag rustling. Oh no, you just missed my own computer playing clown music to mock me. So just cleaned one side. I'm going to shake out the weird dust that's on. Oh my god, it's already on here. Yeah, this stuff is like biker gear, I think, and it's full of dust or dirt, or whatever. So I'm just gonna shake as much as I can out of it. Oh wow, that was a lot that came out. Jesus. Wow, it's enough to like cover like furniture. Oh wait a minute, I don't think it is dust. Well, I mean, I think it is a combination of dust, but also I know it could be dirt too. Actually, it's the Glover soundtrack from a game that I played as a kid, which I like. And this happens to be the Clown World music. It's the first one too. Here, we'll just skip to the boss music. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's dust actually, because it's like a clump of this, but I think it's just some lining that goes in between this like mesh fabric and the gear itself. Hey, listen, the game is fun, even though it's a little clunky to play. Once you get used to it, it's pretty fun. I mean, who doesn't want to play the sentient glove? I like the way you said that. I respect your opinion. Good level of shade. It's like you're saying it, but you're also not. It's like I respect your opinion, but still, girl. Well, I'll shake as much as I can out of it. Oh, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm gonna shake out as much as I can. But once I clean the outside, I might give these a condition. I mean, they feel pretty good, but I think I'm gonna condition them. Gonna look at your sleepies. It's all good. Have a good night, Blood Hunter. Yeah, I'm gonna need to clean the bottom again. That's fine. I'm gonna didn't go to bed till 5. Oof. Yeah, it's already done. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna clean the outside. I'm gonna invert them, and then outside I'll just like shake out the excess that I haven't been able to shake out yet. Maybe even vacuum it too. I mean, might as well. Was up all night. Hmm. Gotta be careful. This dust doesn't get in the on the floor too. I have wood floors and it's brown, as you can see right there, like there. This dust is not gonna show up. Playing games. I think the latest I've ever stayed up was like 4. And now just because I was chatting with a friend and like he kept trying to like get me to stay awake. It was fun times. Oh god, that was like a decade ago. Okay, so I've cleaned out as much as I can from there. I'm gonna shake this one out. Oh gosh, dang it. I need more space. 1 sec. Jeez, it's like I activated the curse of Ra. There's just so much of it. Wait, let me check the inside here. Oh no, I think it is dirt. Because up here, at looking at the mesh here, even though you can't see because the camera is just like not picking up. Yeah, I think that's just dirt all on the bottom. I'll just well, it is just leather on the inside too, and aside from this little mesh fabric, I could probably just at least use this brush and like just take out. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Actually, we'll put that up here. I'll put that up here. I'm not using this stuff right now, so I can give myself more space. Okay. Oh, Ribbons, going back to the what you were asking earlier, there are also other terms someone may use, like the popular one, daddy, is always used. And that could be the same thing as being a sir, but like just using that instead of sir to refer to them. Or it could be a bit more in depth as well. Actually, a friend of mine in SoCal is well, he has a boyfriend, but he has what he calls an alpha. Now I know you're thinking, oh God, no, no, not the alpha male mindset. It's not like that. Trust me, it's definitely not like that. Like he refers to him as alpha because that friend of mine is like also dating my friend. I would say leather brother because we competed the same way, so that way I don't say friend, 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 and then we don't know who I'm talking about. New to me, it is I believe it's biker gear because if you notice, there's a zipper here, and it connects to another piece. Connects to the top piece, and you can wear each one separately because it also has belt loops. So if you wanted to wear these by themselves, you could. But my guess is that it's biker gear. That's just a protective layer, so that way you don't get hurt if you're riding around and somebody decides to not see where they're going and then they just launch you into the air. But yeah, my leather brother is Alpha, is what he calls him. Has like a few in his pack. I don't think he's a pup. Well, yeah, yeah, that he's not a pup though. He has pups in his pack. I think that's probably why they call him Alpha, is that he has pups in his pack, but he doesn't act like the alpha male people. Thank goodness. He's actually really nice and chill. But it's just a term that he uses. Although in that one, it's not really mentorship because they're like similar in age. They just live together, contribute to each other's stuff, and they're really nice and well. I have to text them actually to see if they'll have space for when it's LA the other weekend. I'm gonna ask them if they have space because if they don't, then I can just ask another friend who lives nearby them because I stayed with them before, and it should be fine. Actually, I have two lesbian friends. I haven't seen them in a while though. I should. They're on about. I'll say hi. But we were in the same leather group that we had here in town, and her partner would call her daddy, even though she is a female, a woman, if you will. Yeah, I don't want to say female because that's what the alphas use, the alpha males use, and it sounds ugh. And like being around them so often, it's like I didn't even blink at that. Although someone would be like, "Wait a minute, you called her daddy, but that's that's a woman." It's like yes, It is not limited to gender. Daddy is a gender neutral term. Testosterone here on Twitch, when he's on here occasionally, refers to themselves as daddy and they're non binary, so anyone can use it. That and I don't police people's language. Life's too short. Okay. Not a word you like to use. That's fair. This guy younger than me once used it on me, and it just felt weird because I don't feel like I'm at that point yet where someone could use it for me. Geez, I'm only like what 31. Although ever since I started doing the mustache only, that has changed people's perceptions. They're like, "Oh, okay, I see," and I was like, "Okay, maybe I can see it now." I don't know what it is about the stash, but like for some reason they gravitate towards it. And now to various twinks out there, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I see daddy there," and I'm like, "Me? Is there someone behind me?" Like, not there yet. I don't feel like I'm there yet. Oh wait, I've helped in some ways raise my nephews since they were since they were babs. I do have title children, the people that came after me that won the title, and I'm usually like the one that makes sure that they have everything they need for contest stuff. When I went to Chicago, the not this year's, but the last Mr. Bolt, I made sure they had everything. I was his handler in a sense. Handler just means like someone that makes sure you have everything you need. You're well fed. You're organized. You got everything. Okay, I think I might be. Yeah, actually, one of them, my title son. That's what it means. Just the guy that came before or after me, the following year, said I had dad energy. Oh God, he was right. Maybe I am, especially with the mustache. It's just I have resigned. I guess I am. Oh no, I have always been this. I think just an existential crisis on stream. I'm not the first, nor will I be the last. You're old. That's reason enough. According to some people, yeah. They'll be like, "Oh, you're 30? Oh God, yeah, you're already done." It's a state of mind, yes. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I can see why people have called me that. And for the time being, I'll just say listen, like on some level you may be right, but not fully. See, this is the kind of music that is good for these discussions. Okay, yeah, we're gonna invert these, and I'm just gonna oh my God, that's just all dirt. I'm just gonna shake the devil out of these things. But cleaning it first is fine. We'll clean it. I won't condition it until after I've gone outside and given these. Actually, not just you know what I'll do? We have a leaf blower here. If I invert it, I can just leaf blow all that crud out of there. Oh, and then I can condition it afterwards. There we go. Yeah, we'll clean these. I'll take these outside, extract everything out of it, and then condition. Perfect. I think it's funny when some people expect to call you a certain name right away, and I'm just like, I just met you. Same. I know what I know what you're talking about. Like there are some people that will they don't even know and they're like, okay, so I have a nickname for here in the family. Fun fact, my name is not well, one of my nicknames is Fred. My real name is not that. Has some elements of it, but here at home and with family, they have a nickname for me. And it's jarring when people like that I don't know or like people that I've known for a while, but like it's like different social group. I want to say like in my mind, it's like different social groups. Like they'll use it, and it throws me off a little bit because I'm like, oh no, that's what my family calls me. How do you know that? Oh, let's clean this part off here. Okay, I'm gonna be careful handling the bottom parts because the dust is still flying out, and I don't want it to just get on this floor. And I'll have to sweep afterwards. Yeah, well, we'll just sweep. Okay. Okay, there we go. Careful when you're handling your bottoms. Exactly. In clothing and in real life. Or as Willem said, they're all bottoms. Oh, let me just grab this outer soap here that's coming off. You're too lazy to be either. It's more of just like, listen, I'm here. I'm just here. I saw a thing that said, it said select one of the following: top, bottom, or happy to be here. Actually, I should have. If someone hasn't made a pin of that, they should. Because I just want to go there. Like people ask me, like, "What are you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just happy to be here." What does that mean? Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Do you wish to get acquainted? No. How about Mario Kart and Takeout? Ooh, that sounds good. There we go. Yeah, this is in pretty good condition. Just needs a good clean. And I'll focus on this part later. Yeah, the dust is already coming down from there, so coming out from there, so I'll just focus on getting these clean. I think the top part should be fine. I can't handle Mario Kart. I am not a good sport. Oh, actually, as a kid, I was a terrible sport. Ah, do you know what the reason behind the blue shell was, though? Because it was introduced in 64. But there's a game reason or a game design reason as to why that blue shell exists. Mario Kart with Smash Bros. Oh yeah, I think I'm still pretty decent at Smash. Well, unintentionally, yes, but The reason they used the blue shell was because they realized that there was a chance that the other racer would outpace the other, like one racer would outpace another one, and the game wouldn't be able to, I think it was render? Yeah, the game wouldn't be able to keep up with such a large gap. So the blue shell was introduced as a way to make sure that the first place racer would be slowed down and the game could keep up. Yeah, because notice in 64, the red shells, even though they can target the player, they actually don't do a really good job of targeting. Even if you shoot it like straight, sometimes the shell will just like crash into something. But the blue shell always, no, like without fail, will find the player. I can't remember what video on YouTube it was, but if you look up like blue shell Mario Kart 64 game design or something like that, you should find a better explanation. But yeah, it was used as a way for the game to run smoothly and not have to like struggle. I think I cleaned this one already, but I'll clean it again. The dust returned. Somehow, the dust returned. Okay, so Mario, so we kind of we're half and half on Mario Kart and Smash. But what about the true game, or the one game that can destroy civilizations and like ruin friendships? Mario Party. Oh yeah, as a kid, I was not a good sport. I was very competitive. I mean, I laugh at it now, but like back then, I did not like to lose. I did not like to. I would make up if I lost a turn, I would make up any excuse to go again, like when it was my turn. But I was like, no, like everyone went already, so like the turn is over. But they kept trying to tell me, no, it means that like for the next one, you don't get to do anything. I don't know where that came from though. Like highly competitive nature. I don't really know. I mean, now I'm mellowed out mostly. Actually, no, I shouldn't say. Well, considerably. There are times in Splatoon where I'll be like, and then again, playing RimWorld, that shows that that part of me is still there, not willing to accept the loss. You're salty because you were crazy good at old SNES Mario Kart, but let's look at the newer ones. I don't think I've ever played Super Mario Kart on the NES. I think I have it with the Switch expansion. There we go. And there's still a little bit of dust here, but that's fine. I'm gonna turn these inside out and then remove as much as I can. Yeah, these are nice. Yeah, the inside here is fine. It's just down there at the base of the pants. That's where all the crud is. So they're not bad. These are nice. I'm gonna set these down slowly because there's a bunch of dirt there. Oh, now let's grab the other piece. It is. You can't see. Inadvertently dating yourself by saying which games you play as a kid. True. Well, I mean, I had an NES growing up as well. So some people would say, "Oh, you were from the '80s." I'm like, "No, '90s." Oh, this one's a little dirty. So see, this is a jacket that. Oh god, there's verdigris and dust. Yeah, this is the brand apparently. Oh god, I don't know how to say that. Is it an F or is that a T? TH? Anyone? Oregon? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Hmm. Well, in any case, this also has a bit of dust, but I think it only has that dust stuff from the pants because it's all localized there, most of it. So I think it's just because they were zipped up together, whatever crud was on there made its way up to here. But that is why we will clean. And then I'll just open this one up and just give it a little dust. Here, let's put you up here. Yeah, so Jesus Christ, even the shirt's already got dust particles on it. Okay, I'm gonna be careful. Looks like some sort of cat, so must be a cat furry biker gang. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one. And if there isn't, oh wait, no, it's in here too. Yeah, it's got the same mesh in here, and there's a little bit of dust in there. Oh yeah, it's all one whole outfit, so it's gonna be made the same way. Okay. Okay, I'll be careful. Let's just actually let's open this up. And before I see the skeletal remains of like some poor schmo. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. We have a thing. Okay, so it's Furigan. Or, yeah, Furigan. Original. Made in France. Oh, it's French. Ah, the French. Interesting texture for that. I don't really see a lot of these. W. Isoflemique. Sandwich. What? Why does it say sandwich? Look, it says. Uh, hold on. Let me see if I can. Sandwich. That's made in France. Actually, if it's French, it might just well be. Okay. Let me just organize this stuff. Yeah, geez, this stuff's full of dust. Okay. I'm gonna focus on this side first, then sleeve, then rotate this side, sleeve, front and back for the sleeves, and then I'll do the back. And we'll get rid of this verdigris because there is a lot there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just kind of there, that crusty texture. Ugh. I have the WD-40, so we're good. It looks nice though. I do know plenty of motorcycle friends too, so I'll let them know. Be like, hey, I have this. Like, if it's your size, like top and bottom, it'll give it to you for like $100. $100 for these two things that are biker gear. That's a steal. Like, you would have to be like a fool not to accept that. Actually, since we were talking about games we are not particularly fond of, not Jane fond of, what other games do you not play because like you just know you're not the best at it, and then it will cause you to rage uncontrollably? I'll get the inside with this. There's plenty of moisture and soap. Let me see if I can think of any that I don't really play. Well, I like Marvel versus Capcom. That one is fun. Just my brother-in-law had it, and he was wicked good at it. So I was just like constantly dying, and I was like, dang, like I'm just being brutalized out here. Like I don't really feel like playing. Not because I was like upset that I was losing, but it was more of like the difference of skill is too much. Like or it's too great. Like this is essentially like kicking a puppy. Don't kick puppies, please. Do not. They're nice dogs. They don't deserve to be kicked by anybody. There. I like playing because it's fun. I might go. I might go into more detail. Yeah, I should probably use the brush for this. It's enough that I can just like wipe off. Hmm. Oh, let me dry out that part there. Actually, one of these days I have to go back to the swap meet. We have one here. They redid the sign apparently at some point. It looks nice and fancy. But that's where I found my leather jacket for like $80. Although it looked terrible, I would have probably I if my negotiation skills were good, I probably could have talked him down to like 70 or even 60. But one of my drawbacks is that I'm not really good at sales or like bargaining or anything like that. It takes me a good amount of time to master or to like, even get decent at like selling or like, doing all that. Even for fundraising, I was like struggling. I'm just awkward about like getting people like to purchase or donate some stuff. Their mom will have come to bargain. You see, I wish I had those skills. Actually, if I had a time stone, that'd make it easier because then I could just like rewind and try a different manner of like just different tactics. Or be like, hey, I'm here, to give this stuff, and then rewind and be like, all right, here, I'm fundraising. You're gonna give, right? Cool. All right, I'll put you down for like how much? Okay, that's cool. And if that doesn't work, I go back and try something else. Okay. How much did you pay? Pay for what? Oh, look at that. Yeah, there was some dirt because some of the soap turned brown, so there was definitely some crud on there that I couldn't see. The piece you're cleaning. I did not. All the gear that I've been cleaning for like a good while now has all been for my sir. Oh no, yeah, like so it's like this huge trash bag. It wasn't filled all the way because I wouldn't be able to carry it, and it was like they would rip four of these, like at least halfway each. When I went to go see him late October, I was letting him know that car was having some troubles, and I at the time I thought that it was going to be a major repair, like they'd have to take apart the engine, clean out some stuff, redo a bunch of all that. Thankfully, it wasn't. It was just one part that was acting up before. Switched it out. We're good. But at the time, I really did think it was going to be that. So he talked it over with his husband, and he asked me, like, hey, well, we've had this stuff just sitting in there for like a good while. I think he said like at least 15 years. Some of this stuff has been in there. Like if you're willing to take it and then use it for your car repairs and all that, like you can. And I told him, I was like, are you sure? I was like, you don't have to. It's a lot of stuff. But his response was basically like, it's stuff we haven't used in a long time. It's just sitting in there. Like, they're not using it. So might as well leave it to somebody to actually use. Now I'm doing this side of the sleeve. Hmm. In this economy, there are no sugar daddies. There's glucose guardians, or they call them splendid daddies. I- It's the alternative, gets the job done without the cost of the calories. And I did actually use some of I a friend of mine did a leather exchange here in town, and I sold a few pieces, and that actually did cover replacing some parts of my car. Well, there was one thing that needed to be replaced because it was crusty anyways. So I used that and I purchased it and I put it on there. So I have been holding true to using it for car related repairs. That and I've kept a few things because he said if I wanted to keep some stuff I could. and I tried on some stuff and I was like, okay, this looks way too good on me. I'm gonna keep it. So, that's how my wardrobe went from like a few pairs of pants that I have, like three pairs that are like good, one for each occasion and all that, into like I think I doubled it. Now I have like six or seven. And I wear brown leather, so I gotta get a brown vest now because you can't do brown boots, brown pants, and then not have a brown vest to accentuate it because then it looks off. And then I'm gonna need brown wrist cuffs because I like having wrist cuffs on because I think they look nice. And you see where this is going? Otherwise, thanks. I have shown my appreciation by getting him some little things that I find when I'm traveling. There is one piece I'm going to custom made that I think he will enjoy because it has to do with his family's country of origin. So I think it should be fun. I'm going to use the brush for this part here. Just want to get oh, just want to clean this part, and it's easier if I just go in with the brush. Oh god, the dust is in there too. Rip hard daddy all the way down. Oh no, here's the thing. Or well, that's one way I know that I am not one of those yet because I'm doing this myself. Usually, usually daddies will have like their boys do this stuff for them. It's like a way of teaching them how to clean their stuff and like upkeep it so that way they have that knowledge for later. But also, the whole like agreed upon like power exchange they have. See, I like cleaning my stuff on my own. Well, one, I like learning about it, or like learning how to do it, trying different things. Not for me though. Clean your own stuff. I'm lazy. And that's what we would actually would it be? Well, because there's also another thing called like a subset called brats, where it's like you kind of act like defiant. Like they tell you to do something, then like their whole thing is like, make me. Like, like there's a agreed upon like dynamic of like I'm playfully gonna be defiant, but like not actually defiant, but like, just playfully. Me bratting? Never, don't know her. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, you that no, never. That must be somebody else. Gosh, this freaking dust is getting everywhere. And I just cleaned this too. Well, had I known it was full of dust, I probably would have done this earlier and then had this ready, but it's only dropping a few specks here and there, so I can easily just take a cloth and just like smack the dust off. Okay, one side is done. I did both sides of this just to make it easier. So now I'll fold this. You like pushing people's buttons to playfully just see what happens. I think there's like, I think it's natural. Like, it's expected. Like, like just for like the fun of it. It's not with malicious intent. It's just more of like, yeah, it seems fun. I've had a few friends who do that as well in a playful setting, and I'm just like, you keep this up, and I'll throttle you. And they're like, ooh, is it a good throttling? And I'll be like, dang it, now I can't even follow through. I mean, I'm not being serious either, but like they'll call the bluff anyways. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do to punish me?" And I'll be like, "You know what? Nothing, because you're expecting something, and by doing nothing, that's even worse." And they're like, "Ah, you're no fun." This is a little awkward doing it this way, so I'm just gonna get it from this angle. You are a good boy, allegedly. It's important to have the allegedly in there. Although I have been, as of lately, I have been using that phrase instinctively. Like, I haven't even thought about it. I think it has to do with the whole mustache thing, like, where suddenly it's just like bringing in people that are like, oh, I see a mustache. That aesthetic. And there have been times where I'm like, huh, I feel like that phrase is applicable right now. And then I say the phrase, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, oh, interesting. I don't know what it means just yet, but I will figure it out eventually. Okay, this is part of the front too. On the only on the days that end with Y. Yeah, we used to have a day that didn't end in Y, but then it was, consumed. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Try to get as much of the sleeve as I can here. There we go. Work it in there. Who knows? There may be a time where, when I am older, I shall have some youngin' clean my stuff. I'll be like, "No, you're gonna learn. Here, I will give you the stuff. I will tell you the basics. Just sit there and get to work. You will learn many things. I will be here for questions. I'm also not gonna be like a jerk and be like, here's the stuff. Figure out how to clean it on your own. Like that's not really helpful. Oh, and just for reference for anyone that's watching this, either lurking or VOD, you run into an older guy who is like, "Oh yeah, I am the sir. Like you will address me as sir only. Like I have all these demands. You will comply with them because that is what your role is. Depending on how insistent they are, back away or run. Those people are not good for you. Or if they call themselves true doms, run. No, you do not need those. They are concerning to say the least. Oh, so there are apps and all that for various social interactions and getting acquainted with people. I am on one of them, specifically one that's more for gear enthusiasts and all that. And there was one guy who messaged me one day. I knew something was wrong because it was all caps. Like this guy wrote in all caps. I don't know why he wrote in all caps. So Blood Hunter, not the mainstream ones, but the one that I don't think yeah. The lesser known one. Oh, look at that. Clean. It still feels a little sticky. I'll give it another pass later. And so this guy, like, I think I blocked him or whatever. Actually, I'll check if I have sent it to a friend because I may still have the sent image to him. But the guy, like, his whole profile was in caps. I I'm not sure if he even knew that it was stuck to that or he was wanting to be speaking in caps for emphasis. But he messaged me, and like this is all in caps. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was more of like, "I am sir. You will address me as sir. Like if you are going to be a good boy, then these are my demands. You will do all these things X Y Z." Oh yes, he was. But like from the beginning, I could like from the profile, I could easily see. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to seriously entertain any of this. Oh no, he started off by saying, "Hello, boy. How are you doing? Are you looking for true dom? I am true dom. I can help." And I'm playing along, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. What would I have to do if I was looking for, a dom such as yourself?" And once again in caps, he's like, "You will do these things. You will answer to me as sir. You must do all these things. When I say you do something, you must do it. These are my demands. Like you will eat this, you will sleep here, you will drink this, you will do all this stuff." Like it was basically a laundry list of things I needed to do. I'm just reading all this. I'm like, no, no. Well, yeah, like I think at one point I even said like, that's not how this works, right? Like you can't just make demands of people like that, like not without an agreement. Then he said, "Oh, but yeah, he was not hearing it. He was like, "No, I am Dom. I will make the rules. Like you don't like you will obey every single thing, every command that I make. You have no say in this. Like you are boy. Like you must do this stuff." Oh no, I was I there was no way I was gonna like ever interact with this person in real life. I was just seeing how far he'd go, like in trying to justify himself. I think there was sleeping in a cage at one point. I mean, first of all, like I'm pretty tall, so like that's not gonna work. If it's a cramped cage, like there is no way I'm gonna be sleeping like curled up in a ball. Like that's just not gonna work. I need to stretch. Second, no, I like I don't know if you think I'm meat or like livestock. That's not how this works. I think that's what he. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in there. Like it was just ridiculous amounts. Now there are some people that get into that dynamic, but even so, between them, there is there's actually usually a written contract. Like there is understanding and agreement between both parties. What this guy was doing was not that. He was basically saying, "I will call all the shots and you have no power." That's not how this works. The person who would be seen as having less power actually holds it all because they're the ones that decide what limits are to be tested and what limits are set. So this guy had no actual power, and I was never going to entertain that. I don't think I've seen his profile. I think I blocked it. Mostly just because I was like, okay, yeah, we're done here. Now I get to do the entire back. Also, people who say they got no limits run. Exactly. Actually, I have a story. I was I was not there, nor was I involved, thankfully. But there was someone here in town who got the leather title here, and they were in the Bay Area, San Francisco area, like San Francisco, Oakland, that area. And there was someone here that lived in town that was also at this event. And apparently, some young, inexperienced person came up to the guy who had a title, mind you, and he said, "Oh, like I would like for you to do a flogging with me." And of course, the guy agreed. But here's where he should have known something. He asked him what his limits were, and the kid said, "Oh, I don't have any limits." Which, yeah, means when someone says they have no limit, it basically means I don't know enough of this stuff to accurately assess how much I can endure. Now, he should have known. By hearing this, he should have known that red flag, like he could have either stepped away and said, "Okay, you know what, I'm not the one for you," or he could have said, "Okay, I know you say you don't have any limits. However, let us work up to that point. Because even though you say you have no limits, are we done with the music? We are. Hold on. Oh, I guess we are. Dang. Uh, we'll replay it for a little bit. Yeah, he could have said he could have said, "Okay, everyone has limits. We can start off like nothing too major, and then we can find where the discomfort starts to happen." He did not do that. He heard that, and he said, "Okay, he has no limits. Very well. I will go full force." I mean, the poor guy, from what I heard, like from multiple, like there were a few sources there, so it wasn't just like one person. It was like a few people confirming. He left the other guy pretty banged up from the flogging, and the other guy kind of went and said, "Hey, this guy like really did a number on me." And then that led to a whole thing with the title being taken from him, given to somebody else who got second place. It was a mess and yada yada. Now that's a whole other story too. Whenever someone says no limits, my response is okay. So you would be okay with somebody beating the ever loving Christ out of you? I mean, and there are some people that they do enjoy that, but it was they've reached that point because they have done plenty of stuff. This was an example of where the guy didn't know what he was talking about. And plus, like, there are very few people that can truly say they have no limits. Like everybody has a stopping point. And yeah, like the guy who had the title at that time should have known better and should have either not engaged or should not have gone full force. But yeah, word got over here. It was it was a whole thing. Some people would say after that whole incident, the right person that should have gotten the title got it, and then he had it for like 4 years because Miss Rona came in. And but by the time he stepped down, he was like, "Okay, finally, I'm done. I have been doing this for years. I can finally rest." Yeah, it was. Oof. So yeah, a bit of advice, yeah, just there. Like someone says no limits, don't do not take that at face value and either disengage or just tell them, okay, here's the thing. Like everyone has limits to a certain extent. Like we can discuss we can have a discussion about, all that without engaging in any of that, so that way nobody is afflicted with anything. All right. Yeah, yeah, the top is it's a little not sticky, but I can feel like there's something on it. Can't say you're experiencing the king stuff, but yeah, exactly. Like you don't need to be well versed in kink and all that to know that like something isn't right. And then you can just say, "Hey, this doesn't feel good. Like, can we either take a break or just stop?" And also, most people will like when they hear that, most people will say, "Okay, let's. I hear what you're saying. Let's just take a break or stop, and that's fine. Like we've learned something. Good progress." If there's someone who's saying like, "Nah, you'll be fine. We can keep going." At that point, you could just like yell really loud, consent violation, just to get people's attention because that's what it is. All right, I think we got. Wait, did I get this part here? I don't think I did. Let me just yeah. Although if somebody's quoting Mean Girls and they say the limit does not exist, that's a good one. You can be like, haha, Mean Girls reference. But for real though, what are your limits? Miss Katie Heron. Look at that. Cleaned. Feels good. Yeah, this one feels like it might need a little bit of conditioning. I can feel it. Ugh, the dust is still. Well, the dust from the shirt because some of it fell onto here. Oh, the verdigris. Okay, let's get rid of that real quick. Do I have a? Oh, I have a toothpick and I have this cloth. Okay, let's do this. This is just my rag for like just doing this. A, a friend of mine who's an expert boot black says that he gets rid of the stuff by using a toothpick. But I feel like when it's this level of gunk, I'm just going to wipe it off first, and then I'll use the toothpick. I don't want to use this stuff on leather because it's WD-40. I don't want it to like wear down. But I'm also dealing with a ton of gunk, and I really don't want to have that propagate. The only way you can actually really clean it is if you take off the rivets, clean off the leather, and then put new rivets. Which I don't I don't have the skills for that. I have wanted to learn how to make gear on my own, but that takes a hefty machine. Like you need a really good machine and practice. Although we have somebody here in town that is a leather craftsman, I've actually employed his services for when we get the new title holder. I asked him if he could make a small little wrist cuff for for the winner. It's something small, it's just something custom that they can take when they go to Chicago. And he's now making the patches for the uh the the vest because when I won, a certain guy from Palm Springs made the patch, but he does what is it called? It's like little metal studs that are arranged to make letters and numbers and all that. It looks great. Like I love the way the patch looks. I am just not I do not have a big build, so the patch on me is very large. He tried to rein it in a little bit. So instead of a triangle, it became like a sort of baseball diamond towards the top, and it worked. But then after that, he told the owner of the bar was like, "Listen, you gotta find people that can fit the patch because like that was an ordeal just to even adjust." And he wasn't gonna do it again. I mean, it looks nice. I like the aesthetic of it. It's just it's a pain to adjust and put together. So now the other guy here in town is doing the patch, and it looks great. But I can say I am the only title holder from that bar to have a baseball diamond. That would be a riveting experience, though. How long have I been into it? Oh wow, it's been quite a while. So I met my like mentor, like the one who like introduced me to all this. Like I want to say late 2014. Oh my god, it's gonna be 10 years. Oh my god. Whoa. This is the perfect music for existential crisis. I told you. I told you this music was perfect for that. So yeah, I met him in 2014. Went over to his place, just to get acquainted. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then I saw the patch there, and I asked him, "Oh, I've never heard of that. What is that?" And he kind of gave me the rundown. And I tell people this story often. So he said, "Oh, you should try it out. Like I think you'd do good. Like you just got to wear this clothing and all that." And my response at the time was, "Oh God, I could never do that. Like people watching me wearing stuff like this, like that's unheard of. I could never." And then the following August, I was doing just that. And right before I went on stage, I had that moment. I was like, "Huh." I said I wasn't going to do this, and yet here I am doing it. Okay. Well, I'm up next. No going back. Oh no, well it'll be 9 years because I was introduced to it in 2014, late 2014, but I didn't actually start getting involved until 2015. So yeah, it'll be 9 years. I mean, still close to a decade. That's just cleaning off this stuff. You can't really see, but like there's just some weird gunk there. You can see it right there that I'm just scraping off. He did give me reading material to look at. Although some people would argue that like the reading material I was given is like good for a historical context, but not like something to follow. I mean, I'd say read it still just to see how it has changed. Yeah, and that following August, I competed for the title here in town, got third place. I mean, understandably so. I was only like a couple months at that point. But then the following year, I went back and I was like, you know what? I'll just try again. and I won because I guess I'd shown. Well, there was one judge from the first time I competed that was there again. They asked me to do it again, and he was able to see that, like, oh, okay, yeah, he's definitely putting the work. And I guess I was the only guy that went up to one of the judges and said, "Oh, hey, yeah, you're from the Bay Area. You've done this stuff. You've done this stuff." And he's like, "Yeah, you're the only one that actually came up to me and like knew knew who I was and what I had done." The other guys were pretty. Oh, there was one guy who was like really pretty, who like looked the part, didn't know anything. And there was another guy who was like knowledgeable as well, but I just for some reason I just had what it took. I could never until I do exactly. And now I tell people, I say, listen, there's been moments where I'm like, hey, I say I would never do that, and then suddenly I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, yeah, it's really caked in here, and not the good kind of cake. Actually, it seems like the more I wipe off the excess, the more I can get into the surrounding area and just rip it off. I mean, I can't get all of it all out unless I take out the rivet, but if I can get enough to just kind of limit how much is still in there and like will propagate, I should be fine. And that keep storing this stuff in a good environment also helps that it doesn't get the verdigris. So as long as you're storing it in a good place that isn't really like moisture heavy, you should be fine. But also cleaning your gear every so often helps reduce it. And naturally it'll just kind of get that on its own, but if you keep tabs on it, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, see now this part here also had oh, so you can see right there, that green stuff, yeah, it's there too. You didn't think you'd like some of the stuff until you try, yeah. Yeah, I've had plenty of stuff where like that was also the case, but it was more of like I was just like surprised by it. Where like someone just tried it instantaneously. So it was more of like I was caught off guard, not in a bad way, but it was like, oh, I've never done this before. So like it was just like, huh, okay, interesting. Why is there someone here? The heck? Okay, luckily it's on this side only. Oh, I should be using the toothpick to do this too. Never mind. It'll just go through the cloth. Okay. Yeah, before this, I'm just gonna go over with some saddle soap just to get out the oils and make sure that the leather isn't exposed to this stuff for too long. I just use it because it's the quickest thing to get that gets this stuff off. Although if the leather gets, a little scuffed here, it's inside so you don't get to see it really. But still, I want to keep these things in good enough condition as I can. You're open to most things, but I got no drive to do it with anyone at all. Yeah, I mean, that takes effort and time. It's like, do you really want to go through the effort and the time? And you're like, nah, come on, get out of there. Yeah, there's just a lot in there. Seems the more that I scrape out of there, the rivet becomes not necessarily loose, but it can move. Like it's in place. It'll rotate in place, but that also helps because then it just gets that crud out of there, and then I can just remove a chunk of it. Last few times you did anything with anyone was a mess, so you're just like, nope. Was there proper setup? I mean, some of this stuff requires a level of like prep and cleanliness. Hopefully, you don't mean in like that it was a mess and like somebody was not well prepped, and then that led to the mood being soured. That's the worst. Okay, good. Yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that where it's like, oh gosh, this is just a nightmare. Actually, I have two instances of that. No, you trust me. I won't recant them. I don't think anyone wants to hear. Just know it was like, do you want to be on either end of that? Angst unfortunately, twice. I don't recommend. Ugh. If anything, that could be a Discord, a Discord story time. That and I've heard that and friends have told me stories. So he told me about one. I trust. I'm not going to recount it here because it. No one needs to hear that. Somebody could be eating right now. Technically, at any given part of the world, someone's always eating. But the way he referred to this instance was Pompeii. That's all you need to know. Several people were involved, but one was the catalyst, if you will. I can't do justice to that story because he tells it really well because he was there, and like it's inscribed in his memory, so he can give a vivid account of it. I can only give a secondhand one, but yeah, precisely Blood Hunter. That's what Pompeii was in this instance. Oh, trust me, this was not a hot time, angst face. That the way he described it, that was not hot for anybody. There's some just stuff in here. I just want to get the last of it here. There we go. The most that I can, really. Ah, yeah, these rivets are in place pretty good. I'll take the front one more time. Luckily, it's only here that there's verdigris, which makes dealing with this a lot easier. Actually, I'll check the time to see what time my family wants to do. I guess my siblings wanted to do well, one of them told me like, "Hey, you're getting Valentine's for the kids. We're gonna do something on Sunday. We want them to have something." And I'm like, "Why though?" They're like, "Because we want them to have something nice." It's like you're contributing too. I was like, "Oh." So earlier, and here comes the clown music again. So earlier, I just went down to the local Walmart. Well, you don't go there; you end up there. Grab some stuff, and then that was it. I apologize, but the volcanism pun was too much to resist. All good. I mean, listen, where would we be if you didn't make it? We'd be eating mud. Okay. Oh, let me check down here. There's a little bit. Maybe you can find a nicer story. Yes. Oh yeah. I have plenty of good stories. Let's see. We'll keep it to story. I can give you a twofer. Well, like one and a half, because one is more of like just a nice little observation, and then the other one was a full story. So when I was new, like to all this, I went to San Francisco for it was Dory Alley, which is like Folsom Street Fair, but more centralized to the queer community. And I think it's I enjoy Dory a lot more. Although Folsom has been really fun these past few years, I think Dory is still my favorite just because it's more centralized to the core focus of it. Fun fact: a little bit of queer history. Dory Alley, which we also call Up Your Alley, haha puns, was created by an IML, the youngest IML in history, because he wanted to raise money for people afflicted with AIDS and researching treatment options. So it started off as like a fundraising weekend in one part of South of Market in San Francisco, and it became this like recognized thing that's going on even now. And unfortunately, he succumbed to AIDS as well after a while. But it was definitely a battle that it was an endeavor that he wanted to help other people with because he knew firsthand how it could affect people. So there's a you get a threefer, and then if it's four, you get a reefer. So I had gone to Dory Alley, and there's various vendors there and all that. And Steamworks, a very popular bathhouse in various cities, they were giving out coupons. They're like, the guy was really nice. He's like, "Oh, you're cute. Here, have a coupon." And I was like, "Oh, thank you for both those things." So I had never been there before, so I told someone, I was like, "Hey, someone gave me a coupon to this. Like, how is it?" And my mentor was like, "Hey, go and have a good time. Like, it'll be fine." A lot of people there because it was that weekend, but there was one guy there. Just like I guess you could tell that I was like new there. Like we chatted for like a little bit, and I told him, "Oh yeah, I'm first time here." But one thing that he told me was really nice. I didn't even know the guy. Like I had only known him for like 2 minutes max. Like even though I already knew this, like it was nice to just hear someone say it. He said, "Okay, just have a good time. Just remember, like no one can make you do anything you don't want you to do that you don't want to do. You have every right to say I don't want to do that, and you can leave that situation," which was nice. I was like, "Oh, thank." Like it was like a nice moment. I was like, someone's out here, like advocating for consent and letting people know, like you don't have to do anything you don't want to. That's totally fine. Don't let anyone make you feel like you need to. That was nice. Let's see, regular story time. You said a nicer story. Let's see. I have plenty of those. Oh, actually, I have a nice one. It's a nice one that I reminisce on every so often, and yet the clown music still keeps going. No, this is this is gonna be a heartfelt story. I don't need clownery. We'll go pirate. Seems like a low bar considering. Oh yeah. Well, no, this one's. I mean, low bar could be like, I went to IKEA, I bought a bin to store the gear, and the guy didn't see that the lid was on there, so he didn't charge me for the lid. True story. Happened last week. No, but there was this fellow named Sailor who lived in the Bay Area, and it was I think it was either it was the following Dory weekend. It was Dory weekend 2017. Like they were looking for people to fundraise by washing motorcycles. So I was like, yeah, I'll join. Like I'll do it. Like I like just helping out when I can. But I got to meet this really nice individual there. We chatted for a little bit. They'd been a member of the community for a good while. Like I'd seen them around. They did some pretty wild stuff. So like I give them credit for that. Like they were wild. Though they didn't look it, they were wild. I mean in the best possible way. So I actually got to now know this really nice individual. We just chatted about like our experiences and like where we were from and all that. And I kept in contact with the individual. Uh, they were feeling unwell later on, cancer, but I was able to like I had some leftover games here for my DS, my 3DS, and I was like, hey, I have these games if you want to, use them while while you're going through treatment and all that, and you're just waiting there. Might as well have something to do. They really appreciated the gesture. Then they told me how they were enjoying the game. Fortunately, they didn't make it in the end. They passed like I think a year or so after they were diagnosed. But they were really nice, and it's like one of those nice moments where like I got to know somebody that was like pretty genuine and just cool, and like just got to share stuff like be it games or just stories or like small chat. It was nice. There is yeah. I mean, I gave them a game just to keep entertained, and it worked for the good while. They were content with just having that. But yeah, in the Bay Area, when they passed, like most people, like a lot of people were like saddened by it, and they were like, yeah, they're gonna be missed. But they were. It was a really nice individual. It's like one of those that you like. It's a person you meet that you don't get to meet very often, but you're thankful for the experience that you got to be with, like just hang out with them and like just get to know them. They were good people. Yeah, it was good person. Same thing for a friend of mine that lived here by the name of Cal. Cal Ryder was what he went by online and all that. He created like this whole group where it's called Gear 365, where you wear, well, like he said, like trying to push for gear, wearing gear every day. It doesn't have to be like, a whole outfit like this or like fully decked out in leather. It could be like, a wrist cuff, a belt, your favorite jacket. Like he created that and he introduced me to Nicer, as I was telling Bun Hunter earlier, and Ribbons. And he passed in 2019. I miss him a lot. He was he was really good people. So even reflecting, it's like I get a little, little sad, but it's a passing sadness where I'm like, sucks that he's not here anymore, but like I'm thankful for knowing him and for like introducing me to like someone really important in my life and like just being just like a good friend that like saw the best in everyone. No, thank you. It's much appreciated, but life goes on. And while I feel bummed out for a little bit, it's like eventually I get back to feeling, fine again, and I just kind of you reflect on like the good stuff. Like I've never had I don't think I ever had an unpleasant interaction with him. That's nice. And then I got to like meet people that he knew closely and like kept in contact with them. So it's like even though he was no longer around, he was still helping people like connect and build like a stronger sense of community. It was nice. Okay, let's see. I think yeah, I cleaned out pretty much a lot of it. Look at that. Looks pretty good. I can still see just like a smidge there, but that's if I just have to like really get in there. Then again, the toothpick's also wearing out, so it's losing its pointiness. I think if I use oh, I have metal tools here too. Like if I use like a little metal thing, I can easily go in and get the rest of it. But for the most part, this is fine. There's just a little bit left. Yeah, we've gotten rid of most of it, and you're never gonna get this stuff off unless you take off these pieces. I don't have the tools, and I don't have the tools to put new ones in or put them back. So I mean, most gear has some level of green verdigris to it, but as long as it's just enough that it's not interfering with the clothing, I'm fine. How often do you? Oh, thank you for the hugs, Blood Hunter. How often do you clean your gear? Every couple of months. So in the summer, I do it more often because it's warmer. So leather, will get a little drier. So in the summer, I do it a bit more. But when it comes to like fall, yeah, I feel like I think once per season I do it. Although in summer, I think it's like twice. So when it's fall time, I'll condition the stuff, let it sit there. For winter, the jackets and all that, I will definitely go over a bit. But for winter and like for spring, I do a clean and a pass just because it'll be nice, like just to upkeep. But yeah, for summer, definitely that's when I do a bit more. Especially summers here in town, they can get pretty warm. Although I don't wear full gear in the summer here because that's oof, no. I'll usually just wear my pants, my leather pants, my vest, and some other stuff. But I will condition and clean those at least twice in the summer. You don't have to go and dry. Oh no, definitely not, because then it starts crusting. The zipper still needs a bit of cleaning. Well, that's more I can just do with a brush. Yeah, we'll do it real quick. Well, luckily the zipper doesn't seem to be metal. Oh yeah, they're not metal. This part is metal, but the teeth are not. It's actually a good thing because if these were all metal, this verdigris would have sped to here. Ugh. And I've already dealt with one jacket trying to clean it off. Although before I was using a leather friendly solution, it was good, but it just was time consuming. This is easier. Put some on, rub it on, just wipe it off, and we're good. Okay, I can do yeah, I'll do the zippers later. They're a little dusty, but it's not too dirty that I can't. Oh, let me check to see how much dirt there is in here. Oh, I never even did this part. Jesus, I missed that one. But yeah, dry leather. I mean, not in the sense that it's not wet and like feels like scummy. It's good, but dry leather that isn't conditioned and hasn't been cleaned and like needs it, bad. It'll ruin the stuff. Yeah, it was dirty in there, so I'm just gonna wipe off the excess. Come on. Oh, Matt Baum is on. Matt Baum is a queer content creator. What are they watching this time? He does like he'll do watch parties of queer media and he'll give commentary on it. We were watching Rebel Without a Cause these past 2 weeks. I've never seen the film. It was a really good film, but like he was also going into the actors that like what their experience was on set, and apparently, oh, I forgot his name. Rebel Without a Cause, the main lead. No, he's not Marlon Brando. He emulated Marlon Brando. I forgot the name, but apparently that actor was very fluid in his sexuality. I guess Elizabeth Taylor was once asked to confirm if he was, one of the girls or if he was, something else. And her response was, "Oh, he hasn't made up his mind about that." So we had an act like we had somebody in Hollywood that was, exploring who they were. Oh, and apparently, like there was some guy that was featured in a lot of the stuff that he was in that was possibly his boyfriend. I mean, all this stuff I didn't even know from just like watching the film. Actually, yeah, we'll give him a raid once we're done here. I like his commentary, and he also has a YouTube channel. That's where I found him first, and then I found that he was doing stuff on Twitch. I mean, if you're looking for like a repository of like gay history and culture, he's the one to look to. Okay, so yeah, these. I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try to. As you can see there, those little specks, that's just dust. My guess is from riding, like on a motorcycle or being outside. So in order to get this out, I'm gonna turn these inside out and then go outside. I have an electric leaf blower. I'm just gonna blast it. I mean, the outside is pretty clean right now because we've had rain and all that. So I'm gonna take this stuff, clean it outside as much as I can, and then I can condition it on my own. I don't want to condition it and then turn it inside out because then I just don't want the leather to crease too much. So on my own, I'll just invert this stuff, get as much dirt as I can out of it, if not all of it, give it a condition, put it together, and I believe, yeah, this is a whole motorcycle suit. Let's try on the jacket. I think I could fit into it. Which is okay. I'm not removing this layer of clothing. As you can see, my Zelda shirt. All right, let's. Oh, the crust. Oh God, I feel the dirt. Ah, I don't like it. Oh God, that was a mistake. The sleeves, they're dusty. Mm, I don't like it. No, don't you dare tell me this is a perfect fit. Don't you dare tell me this is a perfect fit because I'm not gonna want to give it up. You cannot tell me this is gonna be a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. Oh my God. Am I gonna have to keep this? All right, so here, double camera. I'm supposed to sell this gear. Oh, that looks. Is blowing better than sucking? I think the brushy vacuuming attachments would loosen the dirt. Yeah, I'm gonna use a leaf blower. I'm gonna try using a leaf blower outside so that way most of this stuff gets thrown out of the crud. And then if there's some stuff that's still in there, I'll just use the vacuum we have here and just like systematically go through. Okay, let me just close this up. Oh my God. If it's too good, look at it. Okay, look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, Fits. It fits. Also, not counting the pants. Let me. Okay, I'm not trying all the pants because those are definitely full of dust. Welcome, Fruit Warrior. I'm supposed to sell this, but it fits too good. I don't even drive. I don't even have a bicycle. I'm not a biker. Yeah, the pants I'm definitely not putting on right now because those things are caked in dirt. The inside, like, I thought it was a lining at first because it was clumped together in such a way. I was like, oh, it must be some protective lining. No, it's just dirt. We good? We good? No, no, it's all good. Thanks for letting me know. I'm still trying to figure this mic out. It has a habit of like some streams it'll be very quiet and like not pick up words, and other times it'll be fine. So letting me know is good because then I can figure out how to configure this thing. So I appreciate like letting me know that the mic is like either working or not working. Like I think I just need a bigger stand. I mean, I have this little tiny one, but I could probably rig myself a little bigger stand. But yeah, oh well. I mean, this. Oh god, this. Look at this. This fits, and it's French, so you know it's fancy. But if it's way too good. Oh, and that as you can see here. Oh, actually, you can't see here. Hold on, let me just remove it. That and I don't want the dirty, the dirt falling on my hands. I don't like it. I don't. I feel dirty. No, and not in the fun way. Okay. So yeah, looking at the jacket, there is a zipper here. So this will connect to the pants with their zipper here, and it becomes all one piece. You're full of dirt already. I just cleaned you, and I just set you down on the floor. Where's all this dirt coming from? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to sweep and vacuum in this place. No, because I slammed it on the. I dropped it on the floor and like the dust. Okay. Well, if you're interested in seeing the whole thing together, we have a Discord. I will be posting the finished piece in there, and then I will try on both of them. And most likely, I'm gonna have to keep this. I'm supposed to. Luckily, there's a lot of gear that I'm gonna be selling. Like, there's a lot more motorcycle gear that's like definitely like biker gear. I'm definitely well, it doesn't fit me one, and it definitely is not my aesthetic. So I mean, that stuff I will sell on my own and hopefully get some funds out of it. Are zip together leather rompers. Well, I mean, that's not really a romp. Hmm. I've never seen any myself, but I don't doubt it either. There's a lot of creative people in the community. I have seen all manner of things put together. Oh, yeah. If there's a leather romper, I'm pretty sure someone's made it. I just have not seen it. If you have sleeves and legs in one garment, isn't it a romper? I don't know. It's a good question, actually. Huh. Let me see. What time is it? Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know. Actually, I'm gonna put that on my feed and see if anyone has ever seen one of those. Because if they have, they can send me a picture of it. That should be interesting. BAU and me, BAU and me. Okay. Well, yeah, I would condition it, but all that dirt in there is just not going to be feasible, or not feasible. Like, it won't be practical to do it until I've cleared out the gunk. It is rather easy to define a romper. It's simply a shirt that is attached to shorts or pants as a one-piece suit, commonly worn by children. Though another page says it has to be shorts. I've seen most rompers be shorts. So I guess if you were to take these pants, customize them to be shorts, and make the jacket have short sleeves, then it would be a romper. Or wait, does it count as a romper if you can detach it? Because that one you can break up into two pieces and wear each one on their own. Or does it have to be consistently one whole piece? Hmm. Alas, my fashion knowledge does not hold up. I've never even words. I've never even seen Devil Wears Prada, so I can't even claim that. Yeah, well, yeah, words are hard, especially English. How many weird rules English has? Like a lot. It's not even counting the unspoken ones. Yeah, have you ever noticed that you say dilly dally and shilly shally, but you don't say dally dilly because that sounds weird? Or like when you're describing things, there's an implied order, like the big red, green, huh, the big red box. It's like size, then color, then thing. There's apparently rules for all this stuff that we don't even know, much less I know because I studied STEM. So like, I'm just like, listen, I know how to write papers. I can't even tell you what a preposition is anymore. I have no idea. I literally don't remember what that is. I know how to write and speak. I don't know the rules. We're like, oh, you gotta end it on this Oxford punctuation. I'm like, dude, I just finished a sentence. I know math. I know physics. I don't need to know words. Heck, we don't even use words in physics, really. We try to use symbols wherever we can. And then like every single letter has like 20 different meanings. A, the, etc. That's a preposition? See, I never would have known that. As long as you keep track of pronouns. Yes. He, she, they, we, y'all. All right, well, we're gonna go say hi to Matt. Uh, yeah, I believe he is watching. It says Natalie would, but Tab wouldn't. So he's watching more queer media, and he will give insight. It takes a while to watch some stuff with him, but I think he has to do it because he has to offer commentary aside from like just playing videos that could be copyrighted. So the commentary is at least very much welcome. It's really fun stuff that like you get to learn more about. Well, thank you all for joining me on this gear cleaning stream. Definitely have some more stuff to clean for sure. There's one pants that it's full of verdigris. Oh god, it's gonna be terrible because it's rivets with threaded leather rope that ties the pants together like to give it tightness. That's gonna be fun. It won't be fun, trust me, but I'll try it. I mean, they're good pants. I'm not gonna wear them, but it'll be good for people that want to wear them and adjust them. But like, I will do the heavy lifting so that way I can give a much more fair price, and they could be like, whoa, that's a good amount for this. I'll be like, listen, I had to clean it and like condition it and all that.